plus the additional mobility that can be provided by JP as well. And that's not just onto the Phobies, but onto the other members of Team Liquid Philippines.
And now we head over to our casters for our Game 1 Grand Finals.
Thank you so much to the panel. What is up, guys? I'm Nicesuit. I'm joined here. It's us, the Wee Bear Bros. It's me, Leo, and Renmar to bring you the action. It's a best of 7 for the grand final.
I love that Lancelot for the first time in the playoffs was something we foresaw.
Yeah. Finally. Seems like it's been a while since we've seen him pop up more consistently, but now we're encouraged to bring it out. Aggressive trades in the center of the map, an Onic typical play, especially if they have a Juicin and a Cho together at the center. The Lancelot pickup from Onic actually turned Oheb off from the idea of picking up a Purify himself, so that makes the kick of the Cho even more expensive. But there's a Lancelot, you really need the Purify for the reposition to avoid him.
I'm wondering if this is going to be a difficult one for King Kong specifically, you know, against this kind of composition that Tlph brought to Game 1, because there seems like it's utility overload, but then also so much tankiness to deal with.
Yeah, with all of that, Kelra, okay, tries to go for the Warrior Boots first. King Kong actually still undefeated on this Lancelot, so let's see if he'll be able to make some magic here. In the past, it looked like the Lancelot pick wouldn't work, but it ended up working twice, very cleanly.
Brusco catching JP. Early moments in the game number 1, it's Liquid crossing the river more often than the Super Fam.
Okay, so now as we kind of look at this, you know, most of these games that we've seen in the playoffs have been quite frantic. You know, in the early game, we've had some just brawls break out, but overall, when you give them this kind of endurance test of a best of 7, just like we saw last night, for example, you really want to go ahead and try to pace your game out and the game plan here. But with both compositions, their game plans, do they change? Like, are they that different between these compositions, Renmar?
It's not going to be quite the same. King Kong already goes in.
Very low. Sanford pulled in by JP. Both teams considering maybe we should fight, maybe we should. A turtle dance begins.
Yeah, let's see if Team Liquid will still heavily contest, considering Sanford took a lot of damage.
Turtle currently 3/4. Here we go. Tlph coming through. Feathered airstrike. Look at the back line. A lot of damage put on to Sanji. Down goes the Lone Stallion. First off the board. Sanford gets a jump on. Gets out of there. He falls. Kelra finds one.
Man, Kelra came all the way from the gold lane just to make sure that Onic Philippines was going to be able to win that one.
Unexpected rotation, incredibly well timed, but they got the gold lane.
Tlph still wants to fight for it. And underneath, King Kong with a Phantom Execution. Liquid's going to pay for this hard. Tlph running away. Desperation. King Kong takes down the young goat.
He couldn't use the guiding wind. Brusco goes in.
The Bruiser gets a kick in. And he's trying to take down Sanji. Wings by wings out. Close call. King Kong got 40 on him. The Apex Predator finds one.
Well, I'm going to take my words back. I said they were kind of frantic. Well, this one happens to be 2.
That's how you set the bar for the grand finals. Action right away. Not willing to give up an unfavorable trade as much as possible. Both teams looking for wins through kills. Sanford getting the kill there onto King Kong was massive for Team Liquid, because if he didn't get that, they would have lost that entire sequence 100%.
This is interesting here, the matchup between Airthil and Granger. You know, Granger's got that advantage 72% times every time he's going to get the Airthil. So we're going to see if Kelra can make work. But the fact that he got an early kill early on, and that's why he rotated, maybe gives him a little bit of an advantage to go up. I mean, he's barely ahead of Oheb right now, but he does have that Haas clause, which is going to help him kind of sustain that lane a little bit longer. But still, it just seems like Brusco is really aggressive on this Cho, man. Like, is that the game plan for him the whole game?
Oh, definitely. He should be. He's up against a Matilda. He can't allow JP to set the tempo. So Brusco's just playing it with aggression. The good thing is, Onic Philippines are going with that aggression. They're not just letting him check and poke alone. Super Prince is always with him. Kirk is nearby, especially when the turtle was down at the bottom lane. And even King Kong is close enough to respond to anything that Brusco decides to do. So they're allowing the roamer to be aggressive, but they're ready to back him up.
Okay, well, right now, Turtle's going to come up here. We'll see how Brusco decides to go with it, but meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there's a little bit of focus here for now, but it is Sanford. He's on the Phobius. I don't think you can do too much, even this 2v1. But Turtle's up now. You can see where Onic is around the map, but look at this from Tlph. They might be trying to make a play here.
Oh, Brusco knows that there might be more than just Tlph in that brush. Sanji wings by wings out. Tlph sandwiched by 3 from the Super Fam. Sanford pushing King Kong out. A little too low. The Sigma jungler calls it quits.
Okay, since the positioning wasn't good for either squad, they both just retreat. They now go for the turtle. Brusco will start things off. Good position already held by Super Friends in that middle shrub. Kirk is here as well. It looks good for Team Liquid. They can contest, but they gotta be careful because if they lose this big time, it's not gonna be good, as Onic already has a 1,200 gold lead.
Well, right now, all the junglers are both junglers on the other side of the map. Tlph finally making his way. King Kong gets his orange, but right now it's just a standstill for this turtle. That's not going to be the focus just yet. Kirk, that's what you call a zone there, man. Yeah. Just walk up on the glue against Sanji and trying to force something out. Brusco, though.
Then there's strike by Sanji, pushing out Super Prince and the Bruiser. Very low. Liquid bursts that turtle down. That's 1 for the cavalry.
Yeah, Onic decided to play for the macro instead. They got the tower in the bottom lane. I think they're going to make a big play for the center of the map, because they want the map control instead. They knew that if they faced Liquid in that turtle, it was a bit of a 50-50, leaning a little bit more towards Onic, but they just decided to play it safe, push towers instead, and now let's see if Onic can expedite the farm of Kelra.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, going for the turret and going for some map presence is going to be better for what Onic wants to set up for. Oh,
what is Kirk doing? Just crossing over from the back like that. Doesn't get punished either.
Maybe that's why. Because he's on the glue.
Yeah.
He's been playing like that for a while.
That's a flicker and a kick. Oh, the pullback. Not going to be enough. Oh, Heb gets taken down. The Venom strike. The reaction from Liquid. Taking out King Kong 1 for 1.
That's a core for core. Gold for jungler. What a kick though by Brusco. Cross not done.
The young gold ain't done with you. Super Friends, Crimson Beacon out of here. Look at the back line though. Kirk gets dunked on. Finds that grab underneath the turret.
Whoa.
The pullback. This way, that away.
What is happening? Everybody is everywhere, especially when you have a Matilda in play.
Yeah, Kirk had to jump out of that flight like DP Cooper. It's like, I'm out of here, man. I got my money. I'm good. A good decision by Kirk to, that he remembered that he could just let go of the grab. He would have been brought all the way under the tower. Great little play there, sequenced by Sanford and JP to actually think of that possibility. As we look at the items, I want to look at the EXP laners. Dreadnought armor on the way to Dominance. Ice Chop Sui build. A Silence Robe is also in for Kirk, so he does have magic resist. While for Sanford, no full item just yet. He went for the Silence Robe. And on the way to a Dominance Ice.
Circling Eagle out of the Bruiser, just checking for range. Gets punished hard. Taken down at 40. Stopping Kirk from just gallivanting all over their side of the map. Friends pushing back. Push by the Filipino sniper. But down bottom, they didn't see. King Kong was working on a lane of his own.
Yeah, King Kong's still pushing. He's been doing this majority of the game, so he gets that tier 2 down. Turtle is gone, so Lord's going to be up here in just a second.
Go, JP.
Oh, JP.
Full-on fight breaking out here. Oh, Heb gets hit. Gets choked down. Taken out by Kelra. Tlph looking for some retribution in the back line. Shutting down the Golden Goat. Now Friends up next on the docket. Where's Friends going? He doesn't have his own. No, flicker. Gets taken down by Daddy JP. Kirk gets the grab on the 40. What are their plans here with the Kirk attack? King Kong looking to punish. Thou shalt not grab my XP later. 40 obliges, keeps on fighting. Phantom execution in. King Kong very low. Can JP and Tlph do this? Sanford gets him. Serving up a kill to Tlph. Kirk still alive throughout the exchange.
What a sequence by these two. And Team Liquid Philippines, their shields, their tankiness, their sustain. It's the X factor here, as Onic made the right call, but Team Liquid were just way too tanky.
And all of these decisions from Tlph brings them now to this point. Onic Philippines, do they want to try to delay this or stop this? They don't have a jungler, so this should just be for Tlph, but there's a whole lot happening, and Brusco's in trouble.
Ain't no time to dance. Liquid secures the Lord in just a jiffy, and now Tlph bumps right into Kirk. Kirk obliges with a spread, looking for that grab. Super Prince wailing away at the turret. Slow rolling. Friends finally takes it out.
Can we just take a breath for a moment? I feel like for the past 4 minutes, it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, potentially we got 6 more games. So very clear right now, Onic playing the macro, pushing turrets because they know Team Liquid Philippines are so strong, playing the 4-man, 5-man team fight. JP's timings with the guiding winds have been on point. The shields he's been able to dish out so far have been at the perfect time that when we think, oh, King Kong's about to get an execution, just a little bit more basic attack from either Brusco or Kelra will finish the job. Suddenly, you see a shield pop up for members of Liquid.
Tlph setting up the gank from the flank. Oheb slowly but surely following through, pushing through mid, taking it down. Is this Grant the purple? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, they're going to take that. They take more, too. They get another Tier 2 down, or the first Tier 2 down with that Lord push. Now Tlph in charge of this game. What does Onic Philippines need to happen here? Because I feel like even King Kong really hasn't been able to do much other than push on the other side of the map here.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Onic is they are very close in terms of the gold. Kirk, Super Friends, highest in the damage dealt department, though that isn't really the best sign for them. That means they need just a little bit more farm for Kelra, or more importantly, a little bit more time, because as these engagements go on longer for Team Liquid Philippines, you're wondering, hey Onic, what's your damage? It's because Kelra is getting picked off earlier in the fights, when these fights are going way longer. So Onic need to do a better job of taking care of Kelra, because Team Liquid are doing a great job of finding ways to access the back line late into the fight. Just when Kelra thinks, hey, I'm safe, I'm gonna keep doing damage, suddenly a Basha comes rolling in.
Yeah, that's one of the problems, it seems like, is just, again, the utility and the mobility that the lineup that Tlph has is difficult. Like, if you're in Kelra's shoes here and you basically just have a couple options to get away, you really have to rely on the team to be able to back you up and give you that space to maneuver around these team fights. But, you know, you throw a Baksha on the other side, and sometimes that off angle that a Baksha can come from is enough to mess things up.
Look at the total heal on Sanford and JP, the sustain that they have. King Kong, Super Prince, and Kirk are being able to provide healing for themselves as well, but not in the level that JP and Sanford are. Look at the items here. Still not that far off of the Granger, though already up to the Sky Piercer, Malefic Roar, Hunter Strike for Oheb, while Kelra does have the GDS, so it seems like he's also understood the problem, that once he pops his ultimates, he does need more mobility, more space for himself, so good third item there for Kelra.
Okay, still standoff here. Lord's coming up in a couple seconds.
BOD for Oheb.
Yeah.
Onyx going to start feeling the pain.
They're going to feel the pain, and I'm wondering, again, if they want to go ahead and decide to do this, because for the majority of this one, King Kong's been elsewhere, right? Pushing, focusing on objectives. Will we see him actually approach and try to contest a Lord here?
That's a catch-22. Again, you want to protect Kelra. Your main damage source is Kelra, but he's supplemented by King Kong. That's why it's been so difficult for Onic to find the winning fight for the past 5 minutes.
Okay. And even with that, you're seeing, you know, Sanji, that's all he has to do. Pop a Feathered Airstrike, and you're kind of left to the whims of that. You know, as soon as that Feathered Airstrike drops down, you just disengage. So what it feels like is Onic Philippines is just trying to buy the time that they need to allow Kelra to get basically fully item locked. And let him loose.
Brusco.
He gets retreat. Kelra's there.
Oh, Lord. 2v3 coming down. Brusco gets bombed by Oheb point blank. Kelra running away, doesn't want to pick this fight here, and just as quickly, the cavalry disengages.
You can tell Carl Tlph made that call once he hit the Retribution onto Brusco, and he was slowed down. Great rotation there by Team Liquid Philippines to pick off a key member for this objective. Look at Carl going for King!
Oh, and now Sanford joins the fight. Kirk looking to disengage for his jungler. That's too much pressure. Kelra takes out Sanji off camera! And this might have been all to Onyx's plan, or is it? The Lord still standing, they're dancing.
Oh, Kirk goes back in.
Oh, 40 gets a little bit of help, might get popped here, still alive. Carl Tlph takes the Lord off camera. 40 gets taken down by the Sigma jungler. Oheb, 1 over Kelra, another for the Filipino sniper. The monster is quelled.
There was 2 fights all around the map, but the objective goes to Tlph. What a smart move from Carl Tlph.
Team Liquid understood they needed to get back onto the objective. They left Sanji to the mercy of Kelra. That split fight caused by Sanford and Carl, but Carl went back, Liquid went back to the major objective. They made the right call when they almost were their own reason for losing that.
Yeah, again, Sanford, the fact that he was able to survive that long to allow them to get back to that Lord, that's what helped them. And not to mention, again, this is a Baksha. He goes around the map before you even know it. but this top turret doesn't go down just yet. So Onic Philippines will hold on to that, but they'll lose some more space unless this tier 2 doesn't go down. But Tlph might make a move still as they have this pressure. I don't think they want to force anything just yet because Sanford and Oheb don't have those battle spells available.
Early in the playoffs, Liquid got stomped by Onyx superior macro. 15 minutes into game number 1 here, it's clear that Liquid learned their lesson. Liquid will not allow Onyx to do that anymore. Liquid has more trading tools, and that's what making the Super Fam struggle. It's like, we sent this, we did the right things, but Liquid just seems to have more on the board.
Yeah, this is coming off of a draft where they knew and expected what King Kong and Onic would pick for the jungle in one of their last 2 picks on the blue side. They manipulated the draft incredibly well that they called back to a meta that they won a world championship with back in M4. Tanky, sustain in the jungle, provide space for your mid and gold. But a lot of these kills that Team Liquid are getting are, I wouldn't say they are low quality, but they are somewhat lacking in aesthetic quality. They are just brute force fights though, and if you get kills that way, resources that way, then who are we to complain?
Yeah, sometimes that's just gonna work. Trying to get this base turret down, they'll get out with the wings by wings, and they're still going.
Kirk here forcing the Fed Air Strike. The response from Sanji. Look at how deep 40 is. The grab. Enough stacks for Kirk to get onto the Apex Predator. Kirk goes down. A kill served up to Oheb. That's a man down for the Super Fam, making this defense all the more difficult. Lord in 30.
Carl is more than enough to stop Kelra from fighting. The fact that he has a blade armor on him means that Kelra can't even poke him down to send him back.
Yeah, this is interesting too because Tlph has done damage to pretty much all the base turrets of Onic. They just haven't gotten any down yet. Lord's 20 seconds away. So depending on how they want to play this, it just seems like it's impossible for Onic Philippines to really look for that angle. This is why we see Brusco doing this. You know, he's trying. This is one of the struggles of being on a Cho. You have to be able to put yourself in that position where you can get a kick, but can you even find it?
Onic is uncomfortable. That's safe to say. They're working the map and they can't win fights. Even more, the cavalry is uncomfortable because this is not the Liquid Stampede we know, right? But a Stampede is a Stampede. Kills are kills, objectives are objectives, and Liquid can afford to take the slow right now.
Oh, King Kong.
But do they want it? They find King Kong with a circling eagle forcing. A Phantom Execution, Carl Deasy coming in. Kachow, he is speed. Liquid, straight on collapse.
Kelra.
To Onic. Look at Kelra from the back line.
Kelra.
I wonder if they know he's hiding in the river brush. Crimson Beacon from Super Prince. The ride by Kirk. He disengages, calls it quits. Kelra right now in the sights of Tlph, but Kirk bites it first.
Kelra waited and he was right there, but it was not the right time to jump in. And so with Kirk gone, Tlph has a take on the Lord here. Will Onic Philippines delay it or stop it? Half health on the Lord. King Kong zoned out.
All right, there's a Thorn Rose. Gets a few beats out of the jump down. A few bullets missed, but the flickered forward by Oheb.
Just at the right time to be aggressive. Oheb is now 6, 2, and 3. It's long, it's scrappy, and it's putting Onic in a very uncomfortable spot. All the little scraps that Onic has to deal with, and it's way too much. Team Liquid, the Gallop is slowly turning into the Stampede.
Slow but dominant push here by Liquid across the map. Free Lord scored. 18 minutes, it's evolved.
It's evolved at this point, so Tlph off of what was a gallop turning into a stampede already. They're getting ready to possibly stampede to a victory. With this one in a comfortable lead ahead, 5.2K, it doesn't seem like Onic Philippines has an answer. How are they looking on the defense side of things here, though?
Oh, it's going to be tough. You see that even though Kelra's full build, he's barely scratching Carl Deasy. And once Carl shows up in front of the Irithel, Kelra says, all right, I'm going to bring you down. Wait, this hurts. I need to stop basic attacking you. What do I do now?
Estimated Onic lineup in base clearing power, about 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
I'm being very generous.
That's
Again,
very generous.
It's mainly Kelra who's doing this. Like, have you seen how slow even late game Zushin clears?
Even with the items, it's not going to do that much, but right now, they're going to have to buckle in. The Lord's still making its way up top. They'll clear out these waves. Bottom base turret does go down, though. So Tlph, Kelra taking a little bit of hits here. They'll go ahead and disengage. Keeping Sanford on this side, the Lord's going to go ahead and charge and take out the top turret. Tlph looking for their own window.
Whoa! The forward push on the better airstrike. One salvo catches him. Brusco gets caught by Circling Eagle. Deep inside, Onic's base. Frizz gets picked off. The mid inhibitor has fallen too. This is looking bad for Super Fam. Base at half health. There's still a bunch of waves in. Sanford jumping into the skies.
Oh, they're gonna have to work out. They're gonna have to disengage as they're stopped in the base.
This might be dangerous. Liquid have to check their range. Better airstrike coming through. Salvos on the Brusco. In comes King Kong taking down Sanji.
They're able to defend, but there was a wave pushing in. Kelra's back. And that's it for Tlph pushing in the base.
They break the formation of Liquid around the feathered airstrike. King Kong gets Sanji down at the nick of time. And with the minion waves crashing in, Liquid had spent too much already to continue their push. Still, the problems are prevalent for Onic. Way too tanky are the front line, but the hope is there. And I think King Kong now has to put his eyes onto the head chef of the Baby Cakes Bakery, Sanji.
Too much, but I'd say it was something Liquid could have afforded. Again, it's just Sanji.
Yeah.
If it was some way somehow Oheb that died, then maybe they're in trouble. Maybe they could get punished. But at this point, again, sitting, oh my God, 1,000 stacks, almost max Sky Piercers. I'd say they're in good shape. Well, Tlph gets caught out here, gets hit by the choke out, slammed to the ground. It's just Kirk, it's just them.
Yeah, this has been the story, like Renmar mentioned. Even if you get Sanji, Oheb is the big problem here. You don't even have really the tools to get to him when he's just on the back end. And if you do, he's got a guiding wind to get him out of that. So here's a Divine Glaive picked up. I know they have 2 Malefic Roars over here too, one for King Kong and Kelra, but I'm still wondering, like, is that enough to penetrate through these tanky big boys in the front line? And that's why Tlph is just walking around.
Kirk jumped in, gets dunked on by Sanford, gets picked up by Oheb once more, squashed.
Well, Super Friend's in trouble. He's going to take a couple shots, but look at the angle, Tlph too. Lord's up, so they have a decision here. Without Kirk, though, I feel like Onic won't be able to do much here.
The young goat has gone from hunting down heroes to just clearing bushes. He wants this Lord to be clean.
He did say before that he just wants to be anything his team needs him to be, whether it's the Carl that gets kills or the Carl that cleans waves, holds the front line. And Tlph and Liquid look like they'll get this without that much of a problem.
Oh, Circling Eagle spent in. Dad makes the call. They're coming in. They're closing in on our Lord take. Clean for Liquid.
It was a clean take. There's really nothing that Onic Philippines can do there. Even if you think, oh, King Kong can do something crazy and try to get a steal, ultimately that's not going to happen with a lineup that Tlph has.
The Matilda has empowered this lineup so well in the past 22 plus minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, it's JP's fault and he can be damn proud of that.
Yeah, he's played this Matilda phenomenally. 2-0-12 right now. They're fully loaded and they're gonna walk into the base with this Lord here. Let's see if Onic Philippines can defend.
Feather airstrike starting it up. Kirk jumping in. Look at that big knockout by the Bruiser. A lot of damage coming through. King Kong slicing, dicing, puncturing the base. The Lord, it's onto them. Brusco gets his immortality pop. The Lord still wailing away at the base. Brusco trying to get the attention of the waves and of Liquid. Down goes Brusco. Orb gets to kill Super Prince, doing his darndest to clear the wave.
Oh, they're still going though. This might be it. Triple for Oheb.
And the base is next. Liquid first on the board. Game 1.
In a race to 4 laps, Team Liquid gets the first one. It wasn't a stampede, but it was a smooth and gliding ride led